Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm reacting to the Yankees ALCS roster. Now I did see a couple of things, unfortunately, like the Rizzo and Stroman are back on the roster. But aside of that, I don't know who's on, who's off, and things like that. The Yankees just announced this roster at 10:47. I'm reacting to this at 10:58. The Yankees obviously just beat the Royals in the ALDS. I will be streaming the ALCS Yankees vs Guardians on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/yourboyJohn. You can see that I'm in the bottom right, and I will have a game recap as well, like I did for every single game of the Royal series on this YouTube channel. But other than that, let's get straight into it. So starting with the pitchers, we have Garrett Cole, the ace, the guy that just won us the game in game 4 that we didn't have to go to a game 5, thankfully. All right, so I'm currently in the video. I just forgot to mention that both Duke Ellis and Ben Rice are off of the Yankees ALCS roster. Jay Cousins, who pitched in one game, I believe in game 1, did not really pitch particularly well, just coming back from an injury, and thankfully was on the ALDS roster, but didn't look like the Jay Cousins that we saw in the second half of the season. Luis Hill, who confirmed will be starting in game 4. Interesting to see Luis Hill not pitch at all in that Royal series. I thought maybe he would have like piggybacked somebody. I mean, nobody other than Garrett Cole went longer than 5 innings, so it's been a while since Luis Hill has pitched, which is a concern because he has a 12% walk rate. He led the league in walks, and he hasn't pitched in a while since that Pirates series, last series of the season. So it's gonna be tough for Luis Hill. Doubt he goes too long, but glad to see that we're gonna start at least Ian Hamilton, who I believe only pitched 1 game. I want to say off the top of my head, maybe 2 games. I want to say just 1 game though. And that was the games with the Yankees lost, where the first pitch he threw, he allowed Carlos Rodon's inherited runner to score, which is tough. Tim Hill, I believe, also only pitched 1 game. He's our best lefty reliever. Clay Holmes, who had a phenomenal ALDS series. He picked up a couple of holes. He picked up, my bad, watch. Picked up a couple of holes. He had some scoreless innings. Clay Holmes is a 0 postseason ERA. Hopefully they're not just jinx him right there. He's been pitching pretty well as long as he's not closing out games in the 9th inning. I already got some PTSD from Clay Holmes against the Guardians season. I just had to let out, you know what I'm saying. Tommy Kahnle, who's been the Yankees' second best reliever, he was also really good in the post in the ALDS against the Royals. Tim Major's on the roster, which is interesting. I didn't really still expect Tim Major to still be on this roster, to be completely honest, because he only pitched like 1 game, and it was like a scoreless inning, and I think game 2 to close out the 9th in game 2. But then Luke Weaver came in to get Bobby Witt Jr., so he really got maybe, I think he may have gotten like the last out of the 8th, the 9th, the first out of the 9th, and the second out of the 9th, and then Luke Weaver came in. Carlos Rodon, obviously he's starting game 1 of the ALCS tonight. Hopefully he pitches well, but the Guardians are really good against left-handed pitching. They don't strike out, and Rodon's MO is striking people out. So it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully he uses the changeup. His fastball's on, his slider hopefully doesn't get crushed like it did in his last start against the Royals. Clark Schmidt, the game 2 ALCS starter, who pitched like 4 2/3, gave up 2 runs, pitched pretty well in my opinion against the Royals in the ALDS. Marcus Stroman's on the roster, which is interesting because I really don't particularly think that Marcus Stroman is good. If I remember correctly on the top of my head, Marcus Stroman has an ERA of 4.58 in the second half, and his FIP and xFIP and his baseball savant expected stats just are not good whatsoever. But for long relief, I remember under 2, I was like, okay, for long relief, why not? I would have I mean, he doesn't strike anybody out, his ground balls are down, gives up hard contact, like just not the biggest Marcus Stroman fan. But again, if there's a game where let's say you're up so much and you don't want to burn a couple of relievers, like, okay, Stroman, we're up by so much, you can give him a couple runs and we can still feel comfortable winning this ball game. So whatever. And then Luke Weaver, who's been one of the better closers in all of Major League Baseball. Hopefully they're not just jinx him, but he had 4 saves in, not 4 saves, but he had 3 saves in 4 games against the Royals. He pitched every single game of that series, and now he has a couple of days off, as the Guardians had to go through the season on the line in game 5. Their season on the line in game 4, and they clutched up. And in game 5 against Tarek Skubal, or Tariq Skubal. I don't know why I keep saying Tarek. Tariq Skubal. They started off. Lane Thomas, Nationals acquisition. He ended up hitting a huge grand slam to send him into the ALCS. Now, catchers wise, we have Jose Trevino and Austin Wells. Trevino did not play at all in the ALDS against the Royals. And Austin Wells, outside of game 1, where he had a base loaded walk and an RBI single inside of game 1.5, has been absolutely pitiful. And in my humble opinion, he should be out of the cleanup spot for Giancarlo Stanton, especially since the relievers from the managers, like the Royal series, when they had the Wells, Stanton, Jazz lane of hitters up, they'll go to a lefty reliever. You're not going to a lefty reliever when you have Giancarlo Stanton, when you have Giancarlo Stanton, Austin Wells, and then, I mean, because they love going righty, lefty, righty. They usually go Glaber, then they go Soto, then they go Judge, then they go Wells, then they go Stanton. And outside of that top 5, I mean, it changes that point. So you usually go, then you go Jazz at 6, then let's say you go Volpe, and then you go somebody like whatever, and then 9th you hit Verdugo. I mean, it depends, because Rizzo's in the lineup, sometimes he's not. Birdie's in the lineup at points, sometimes he's not. Waters in the lineup, sometimes he's not. I digress. Infielder wise, John Birdie, obviously he started 2 games for the ALDS, made a couple of phenomenal plays to double up the Royals, including in that game 4, and also in that game 2 that the Yankees ended up losing. Carlos Rodon start, and then Rizzo, like I mentioned. Unfortunately, I was checking Twitter and I saw somebody had quote tweeted it, but the Yankees reporters, and they had mentioned that Anthony Rizzo and Marcus Stroman on the roster. I knew that Marcus Stroman and Rizzo were both on the roster. Unfortunately, so this isn't my raw reaction, but good to see Rizzo back. Not like what's it called? I'm not like 1,000% like, let's go, we're just on the roster, just because he really wasn't hitting well for the entirety of the season. He came back. I mean, he had a couple of RBI hits, but the fact that it matters, I really liked how Oswaldo Cabrera and John Birdie have been hitting. Rizzo coming off of multiple fractures, I believe, in his hand, so I really want to see how that holds up. Will they start him? What will happen? I'm going to see Rizzo. He's obviously still been on the bench, even though he wasn't on the ALDS roster, because he's had that injury. He had, I believe, like a cast, I want to say, when they panned him in the dugout, he had like a cast. But Rizzo brings phenomenal vibes. He's a great human being. Just not really eager to see him immediately in the lineup, but the fact that he is at least on the ALCS roster means that he is healing at some sort of capacity, so that is a good thing. But I digress. Gleyber Torres, obviously, that massive RBI single in game 4, and he set the table with the double that Soto ended up driving him in with. He didn't make a single error, which hopefully did not just jinx him once again, because this Guardian series is going to take years off of my life. Anthony Volpe, he did make an error, but he did have a pretty good series. He hit the ball decently well. I thought he homered in his first career playoff at bat. Unfortunately, he did not, and he ended the game in game 4 with the ground out to first base. As actually, no, he actually didn't. The last play of the ALCS game was Yuli Gurriel flying out to Aaron Judge, but Volpe, I believe, also had one of the last couple of errors. Somebody grounded out to him, and he threw it to Birdie, and they got the out. Outfielder Jason Dominguez did not play a single game in the ALDS. I don't think Aaron Boone went to a single pinch hitter. He went to maybe a pinch runner like Duke Ellis, maybe game 4 for Giancarlo Stanton. Outside of that, though, nope. Trey Grisham also did not get any run in the first series. Aaron Judge, he got a double, which was his only extra base hit. He only got 2 base hits all series, and the Yankees won against the Royals in the ALDS. The infield single, and also the double in last game. He had a couple of walks, though. Juan Soto, obviously the RBI single in game 4, and he also had 3 hits in game 1 to set the tone. Giancarlo Stanton, obviously phenomenal series. If there was such thing as a ALDS MVP, Giancarlo Stanton's name would be etched all over that. We did not win that series without John Carlos Stanton. Over like a 960 OPS. Big G, playoff Stanton is officially here. He had 2 RBIs in the last game, and that homer, another RBI in game 3. The dude is just him. Alex Verdugo, unfortunately, the bat hasn't really been good outside of game 1, where he did win the Yankees the game after Josh Chisholm was safe at first base. He had the RBI to make the Yankees lead 6-5, and he's been really good in left field. He hasn't made an error. He's had a couple of really good throws. So for now, they're going to keep Verdugo in left field. Defense matters a lot, especially when you're going against the Cleveland Guardians, who they might not be the slap-hitting team as much as they were last season or in 2022 when we faced them. They've actually hit a lot more homers. I believe last time I checked, they had like 175 homers. I mean, you have Jose Ramirez, Steven Kwan's having the best power season of his career. Josh Naylor has pop. Now you add Lane Thomas, who has pop. John Kenzie Noel in right field, he has pop. Now guys like Andres Jimenez, the Brian Rocchios of the world, these guys really don't have pop. I mean, Bo Naylor, every so often he can blast off. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, left, center. Right. Yeah, I think I basically checked everything off. And utility-wise for the Yankees, we have Oswaldo Cabrera, who played 2 of 4 games at first base, and Jackson Jr. at third base. Jazz has been trolling Royals fans and going back and forth with them on Twitter and Instagram and talking this shit. Jazz Chisholm Jr., I'm gonna need a legacy series out of it, because we did not get a legacy series out of Jazz. After game 2, my man had 0 hits. He had the hit in game 1, at least, and he had the homer in game 2 off Luis Urset to give the Yankees some momentum. John Brady ended up getting a hit, and then Gleyber Torres grounded out to second base on 1 pitch, and the Yankees lost that game. So that was tough. But Gleyber ended up making up for it. He had a huge hit in that game 4. Yeah, so Josh, if you're gonna walk the walk, I mean, if you're gonna talk the talk, I'm gonna need you to walk the walk. That's Josh Chisholm Jr. Okay, my boy. This is gonna be an excruciating series. I'm already mentally prepared for it. I'm not excited whatsoever. We're gonna need some timely hits. We're gonna need to hit with runners in scoring position. We're gonna need to pitch our ass off, and we're gonna need the best defenders at every single position. So this is maybe why Anthony Rizzo is on a roster, because if he's not going to hit, he at least is surefire at first base. Because a lot of these guys, Birdie and Walden, they've learned a lot from, I mean, I presume also first baseman coach Travis Chapman, and obviously them putting in the work themselves, but also Anthony Rizzo as well, mentoring them and helping them out and things like that. The defense needs to be on point in the ALCS. You are 4 wins away from the World Series. You are 4 wins away from something the Yankees have not been to in 15 years. Last time the Yankees won the World Series, I wasn't even a fan of the Yankees. I was 7 years old. Dang, I knew what baseball was at 7 years old. Damn near didn't even know what basketball was. Even though I was a kid, like as a newborn, I had a basketball in my hand. You think I know what that was, my brother? Let's be for real. So that is the Yankees ALCS roster, 4 games away from the World Series. This is a team that just beat one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, Tariq Skubal. I don't know why I keep saying that incorrectly, but I digress. I'm gonna need y'all best. Hit with runners score position, pitch your ass off, no funny business, lock the fuck in. But other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and to Dr. Boy John. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.